California. It's a gorgeous day. The crowd loving it, and it's beach volleyball. And we are ready for the finals, and what a matchup. An appropriate one. Tim Hovland and Mike Dodd against St. John Smith and Randy Stoklos. The last tournament of the year, the two best teams for 1988 playing each other. Lynn Shackelford along with Paul Sunderland.
Ed Winchester again will be our referee in this match. And once again, the umpire will be Ken Taylor, standing over at the other post. Now, the winner of this tournament, or the winner of this match, will be the leading money winners for the year in pro beach volleyball. If St. John Smith and Randy Stoklos win this, they will each win $134,135 for the year. We're just about ready. This could be a double final. We'd like to remind you this is a double elimination tournament. Hovland and Dodd have not lost. So if they lose this game, Hovland and Dodd, they'll get another chance in a game to 15.
Mike.
We start with a block by Hovland. It's got to be hit over. It's in, right on the line. So a lovely start for Hovland and Dodd. And as you can tell, the crowd kind of gets behind them a little.
Well, they're the local favorites. Tim Hovland again, right off the bat, scoring with his blocking. And I asked Mike Dodd when he was joining us here during our semifinal if Tim was blocking. He said, yeah, he's doing okay. Was very sort of lackadaisical about it, but I really think that's been the key to their emergence here throughout the course of the summer. Again, Hovland getting his hands on the ball.
He's going to hit that one long, though. That one goes out. That was a tough move for Hovland to make. He hurt his toe early in the year, dislocated it, and has had a bad toe for about a month and a half now, and that's why you see a little bit of a brace or an ankle brace on his ankle. Actually, it gives the toe support. So St. John Smith will put it in play. Yeah, that's what you got to do. You make a bad pass, but Hovland got down so low and set it out of the net so nicely.
Well, you don't see Mike Dodd miss very many serve reception opportunities. Nope. That ball going into the bottom of the tape. Tim Hovland, no panic. He's seen that play maybe 500 times through the course of this summer. Goes down on one knee. Composure, bumps the ball into a good hitting position. Mike Dodd putting the ball away.
Ball's good.
Oh, great block by Tim Hovland. And I tend to agree with you, Paul Sunderland. Hovland has been impressive the last couple of weeks with his blocking.
Well, St. John Smith really not having much success against Tim Hovland. Tim has got great hand movement. Right there at the end, as St. John started to hit the ball cross court, Tim swept with his right hand into that angle, stuffed the ball down. And Tim jumps so well that a lot of the soft shots that St. John likes to hit over the top, Tim just swats down exactly like that play. That time, St. John wasn't going for the sand. He was trying to loop the ball over Hovland, and Tim jumps so well, he's just putting the ball right back on St. John.
It seems like when he's jumping well, now watch him jump, he's tough. He is really high that time. That was like a stuff.
Look at Hov just swooping with his left hand, stuffing the ball down.
Come on, go!
It's Doug. Hov's got it. It'll come over.
Stoklos coming way over to take that ball away from St. John Smith.
And it goes off the block.
Spike by Randy Stoklos off the block with Hovland and out of bounds.
So a much-needed side out there for Smith Stoklos. They're down 3-0.
And really feeling the pressure already. They've been hitting some good shots. Everything they take a swing at is Tim Hovland. Tremendous athletic ability. Makes the save and then glances back over his shoulder to see where the save goes. Stoklos again coming way over to the right side of the court to take this ball away from Smith. And there, you just see the ball deflecting off the top of the hand of Tim Hovland.
Stoklos waiting to serve. Hovland wanted someone in the crowd to settle down. Now he's ready.
9-1. Come on, man. Angle, hit. Come on.
Oh, great dig by Dodd, and then he hits it in the net. And that's the kind of play we're hoping for here in our championship final. Excellent play.
Starts with a tremendous dig. Randy Stoklos unloading into the cross court. Mike Dodd, in my opinion, playing the best defense on the beach right now, anticipating in good position, just cannot finish off the play.
Welcome with me, St. John Smith, Randy Stoklos, and in the middle, representing Javi Dodd, is Tim Hovland. Where is your partner today, Jav?
He is in JO's in Atlanta with his daughter and Patty, and I miss you, MD. I'll try to do my best without you.
Well, I will be your partner for today.
You
We're
are
talking
my
about the
partner.
1988 Hermosa Open, and next week, the 1989 Hermosa Open, featuring the same two teams. I love it, Javi.
89 is such a better year than 88.
Well, let's talk about 88. First, we have to talk about Hermosa Beach, the venue itself. How special, Hermosa?
Hermosa was always one of those tournaments that really all the professionals really looked forward to. One of the 4 or 5 events of the year that you geared yourself up to play as well as you could, because winning at Hermosa really meant really a great deal.
St. John, what about the atmosphere of the week leading up to the Hermosa Open? Was it just crazy?
I think what a lot of people look forward to at Hermosa was the bikini contest. Wasn't
True.
that right?
That was a great one.
I mean, it was bigger than...
That and Long Beach with the two tops.
They had the biggest bikini contest with thousands of people, and for some reason they wanted us usually to be the judges, so we would have to go out and judge the contest. But that aside,
tough job.
That aside, you know, the South Bay, there were a couple spots that had the biggest events, Manhattan and Hermosa.
Right.
And Hermosa kept building and building, became really a major event on the tour at that time. So everybody was looking forward to it, and it was home base for many of the guys. And Hav owned Manhattan. Just ask him; he'll tell
Thank you.
Oh yeah,
Thank
I
you.
own Manhattan.
Did you hear that? Play that back.
But Hermosa was open territory, really. I mean, of course, it was close to Manhattan, but really it was a different kind of a group that went to Hermosa. And Randy and I actually had a few fans there at Hermosa,
Which
was
not
kind of
many.
Weird for the South Bay.
Not many.
Now, Hav, it was like a home game for you.
It was a home game for us. I mean, you wanted to win Manhattan, you wanted to win Hermosa. It was a USA Championships back then, so, and there's extra prize money. And that was the last tournament of the year. So if you won that, you had a good winner. You know, if you lost that, you had to think about that all winter long, going, I just got beat. I mean, I remember 88, 89 was not, I was upset for a long time.
I remember actually you saying that you were the big game hunters, and that was one of the big game hunters that they kind of let slip through their fingers a little bit.
You know what? You can't kill everything in sight. You know, sometimes you let the small ones go.
You let us have that
we'll let you have it.
Well,
That
at
and Rhode
26
Island.
tournaments, how fun is it for you guys to play in front of your family and your friends? I mean, everyone gets to come and watch you at Hermosa.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun. And you know what? And everybody heckling St. John and Randy made it even funner. This is back when we didn't have any security, so somebody would say something, he's right there, you go, I'm right here.
Yes,
I'm going to get you. One more word out of you and you're mine.
We'll be back in just a moment. The 1988 Hermosa Beach Final.
I'd like to see St. John Smith and Randy Stoklos right now mix up their defense, fake blocking a little bit more, and drop back. Nice dig by St. John.
Will he hit it? Yes, he will. Nice shot selection by Dodd. He gets down, side out.
Mike Dodd has tremendous confidence, I think, right now against the block of Randy Stoklos. He alluded to the strengths of Stoklos' block, that the other players have learned to deal with that big block and are using their shots. What I would do if I were Randy, I would just periodically throw in a fake block. Move up to the net, get in blocking posture, let him see you, and then drop off and cover some more court defensively. Very difficult to change your shot at the very last second.
Especially since some of the sets by Hovland are not that high, so Dodd cannot hit it straight down. He's got to hit it at an angle that would be more conducive for a dig.
What Randy can do by dropping off is take away by himself any shot down the line, because he's got his hands up ready to play defense. I would just throw that in as a strategy just to disturb the side-out rhythm of Hovland and Dodd.
These guys, believe me, are thinking all the time of any little edge. They know each other so well.
Well, they know exactly where the other player would prefer to hit the ball when the ball is set 6 inches this way, 7 inches that way, close to the net, away from the net, and they study each other's tendencies. Just like in football, you know that in 3rd and 4, when the ball's on the left hash mark, they're going to run this play. It's exactly the same out here.
One serving 3.
Tim out.
Oh, the ball jumps. That's an ace for Randy Stoklos. So they get that side change at 3-2. That's what they want. And the players will now change sides. We're playing a game to 15 here.
We are back, and one of the greatest rivalries in all of sports, Dodd, Smith, Stoklos. Gentlemen, talk about the rivalry and what it meant to the sport.
Well, I think you can compare it to the Lakers-Celtics rivalry back in the days. I mean, every time that we got together, it was going to be great volleyball. Something's going to happen. Something's going to blow up. There's, you know, a great plays are going to be made.
And you know, one of the things that really played into strategy back then was wearing the other team down.
Yeah.
Because these games were so long. They were side-out games, back and forth, back and forth. And we would pick on one person a lot of times, you know, all game long, knowing that we were going to have another chance to play them. And by that time, they'd be dragging. And particularly Hov, because he was in the worst shape of just about anybody out there.
Me. Just serve me. I'd be very happy.
Remember, both
both
teams played for 11 years together, and this rivalry started, you know, in the early 80s. So we've already established ourselves as true competitors, and it was every time that we took the court with against each other, it was really a lot of bloodshed, and it was, you know, you're as good as your last performance, and it was just so exciting, really, to play against the best.
I think you look at it now, you got the Misty May, and they're just dominating. If they had another team that they could play against consistently, it'd make it for a better volleyball match.
You make a great point. 17 of 26 tournaments in 1988 were won by Dodd, Smith, Stoklos. You guys have 9, you guys have 8, and this is going into the last event of Hermosa Beach. The winner will make the most money. I mean, all that is huge for the sport.
That's great sport. That's great competition. I mean, we respected each other on the court. You know, we wanted
Not
them
really.
to,
Come on, Hov.
you know what?
On the court, you did everything.
I wanted you to
could.
die, but you know, it was still respect.
And he tried too.
Hey, if you're not in good shape, don't come out here.
Talk to me about the rivalry of North Bay versus the South Bay. Explain that to people.
Well, you know, they practiced up here in the State Beach, and, you know, and then we practiced up Marine Street. We had our own clique there. They had their clique here. And, you know, the Matty Youngers, the Waterberries. I mean, you guys had some pretty interesting people. And we had our group, the Westies and the other guys. And so when they come down to a local tournament, it'd be kind of a face-off of beach versus beach.
And didn't you guys have baseball games? Didn't you guys have baseball games against each other?
Oh, we had some great baseball games, but with the South, they won every one of them. They're not really good athletes up here.
Yeah,
they hit a baseball with a tennis racket.
You know what I learned early on when I just started to play from the people that were playing up in this area?
Sereno.
Jim Mingus, Greg Lee, Ron Von Hagen, Gene Selznick, Ron Lang, all these guys from up here. There was such fierce competition amongst them that they were friends kind of, but they were more competitors than anything else. When we went down to the South Bay, there was great players down there, but it was like a fraternity. They were all buddies. All buddies. It seemed like it to us.
What are you talking about? You're living up here.
It seemed like it to us when we went down there. Particularly back in the days when you refed your own games, you know, afterwards the losing thing came on.
Really going back here.
It sure seemed to me, and this is what I was
back
told.
Do you want to go?
This is that was in the 70s.
Good God.
It seemed like the guys from the South Bay would pull for each other, and the guys from the North Bay, Santa Monica area would go harder against the guys from their own beach because there was such, you know, intense competition. I don't know if you realize that, but that's what I was told. That's what I was told.
Thank you for making Stingenism.
And
I don't believe it.
It made a lot of sense when I started to go down there, and I saw that everybody from the South Bay was all for these guys, and we're looking for anybody rooting for us. And there was nobody.
You're saying North Bay tougher, South Bay more warm and cuddly.
Exactly. You got it. You're right.
Well, you know, it's
I don't see anybody at this beach anymore.
The way it really happened was Tim really put together his cheering squad, and he made sure that those people were there every time he actually played.
That's right.
And actually, it kind of got under our skin. It was when we came down to, say, a Hermosa or a Manhattan Beach or the South Bay, and we were going kind of to war.
Stick around, you're watching AVP Classics. We'll be right back with more of the 1988 Hermosa Beach Final.
Still a great crowd on hand. It is a beautiful, beautiful day here in the South Bay. There was a bit of a breeze picking up around noon, 11 o'clock, and now it's just settled down. And with the bleachers, just a perfect setting. Very, very light breeze. It's cool enough. You couldn't ask for a nicer day.
Yeah, Hermosa is known for a fairly strong afternoon breeze, and maybe because it's the time of the year, fall, it seems to be a little more gentle as the afternoon wears on.
Well, the weatherman knows it's the last big turn of the year. There's $150,000 at stake, and he don't want to be blamed for messing up the action.
Cut! Hey! Hey! Nobody! Help me! Him out! Come here!
Oh, bad set by Dodd, and Stoklos cashes in. We're tied at 3.
Starting with the block of Randy Stoklos. There you see him turning after getting the save from St. John Smith. Ball's back to Tim Hovland, and then the ball is just set directly over the net, and Randy's not going to pass up that gift, driving the ball straight to the sand.
Randy really taking his time now. Of course, on the beach with the perspiration and everything, you get sand all over you, and it just annoys you to start a point with too much sand. Major sporting event. Why? Because there is the Goodyear blimp.
Stoklos again with his second ace, Lynn. They've got 3 points. Randy Stoklos, 2 of those out of the jump serve.
They lead 4, serving 3.
This tells it all. Good toss, concentration. Look at the leap that he takes out of the sand to drive that ball right up the middle again. It looks like that's where he wants to go, deep up the middle. Mike Dodd, no chance.
They take the lead for the first time.
Him! Start up! Hit line!
Off the block, I believe. Yes, it was. Off the block of Stoklos, and he throws up his arm and says, yes, it was. Hovland has taken off of his tank top. That's kind of for show, but I think it's a little for self-motivation. When things aren't going well, he loves to rip it off.
Well, it's always a true sign of frustration. Hov likes to take the bottom of the tank top, wrap it over his head, pull it around his neck, abuse it a little, and then he tosses it away and play goes on.
Trying to dink it right over to St. John Smith. Mike Dodd misses on the little jump serve. I'm not sure why he bothers with the jump on that.
He even mentioned himself during the time he joined us that he doesn't have that effective jump serve. Obviously had some effective performances during one of his 45 wins. One of the great players on the Pro Beach circuit the last 6-8 years.
Well, we'll show you what kind of year that Hovland and Dodd have had. Dodd has 8 wins this year and 8 second places.
Good. Hit line! Right there. Nice shot!
Okay, one thing I noticed with the blocking of Randy Stoklos that's different to my eye this year as opposed to last is that he's not penetrating the net. I think he's putting a lot of pressure on himself to touch any ball because of St. John's physical injuries. He's not able to run quite as fast on defense. There's a concerned fan, no doubt about it, biting her fingernails, Patty Orozco Dodd.
Good. Good. Angle!
The ball is long or wide.
Well, another spiking error by Randy Stoklos, and again, he doesn't get many opportunities. Doesn't lead to much practice, and I'm sure during the week, if he's playing up at State Beach, it's about 15 miles north of here, which is his home base, I'll bet he doesn't get many serves during the week either, so when's he going to practice his spiking?
We are tied at 4. Mike Dodd either didn't like his toss or bothered by the crowd. Hovland was ready for Stoklos to hit it over in 2, but he just couldn't control the block.
In a perfect position, the ball just went right off the top of Tim's head, deflected out of bounds.
Looked like it hit the head.
Tim wiping his brow.
Better not hit those sunglasses.
No! No one!
Nice set from Hovland. And again, letting his partner know that there's no one. And that time Stoklos stepped back to play defense. But Lynn, he did not fake the block long enough. Watch him drop off. He drops off way too early. Mike Dodd knows right now there's no block, and he can power the ball. Randy's got to wait at least another full count. So Hovland goes, so Hovland doesn't know really whether he's up or not, so he can't communicate so efficiently.
Right there, high, fight. No!
Oh, St. John going for the big cut. I don't know if it was blocked or not. I think he just hit it into the net.
I think that ball went into the top of the tape. Smith, knowing that he's got to hit a level of shot, almost unable, with no ability to duplicate time and again, just to get the ball past the block of Tim Hovland right now.
Thank you.
Hovland and Dodd. Hovland will serve. They lead 5-4. Now remember, it could be a double final. If Hovland and Dodd win this game, they win the tournament. If Smith-Stoklos pull it out, they'll play one more game to 15. The winner of that will win it all.
5-4. The Hov continues to serve.
Hovland and Dodd, coming in this double elimination tournament, have not lost. They played earlier today against Smith-Stoklos. They won that one by a score of 15-7, so they have been the superior team. A yellow card on Hovland and Dodd.
Surprised by this. A little gamesmanship going on between both these teams. Tim Hovland and Mike Dodd go through a routine when they're ready to receive serve that does take a little while. It aggravates some of the other players that they take so long to seem to get ready for every serve reception. Now I think St. John and Randy showing a little of their recent frustrations against this team. You know, a little, okay, are you ready? Well, I'm not. Well, I'm ready now. Are you? No. Well, am I? No. And then we get a minute or two delay. And now Ed Winchester is delaying the action, calls a replay.
And Hovland comes to the net and says, hey guys, let's settle this ourselves. What's going on here? These are players who are real rivals on the sand, but they communicate and get along pretty well off the sand. Oh, they don't socialize that much, but I think you could say they're all friends.
Ed Winchester was passing out the yellow cards in bunches. Just then, we heard that Tim Hovland got personally a yellow card, and then each team got a yellow card. So lots of warnings going down out there. Ball swatted just wide. Randy reaching way up, trying to get his hand on that ball, not able to keep it in play.
So the side change comes with Hovland Dodd leading by a score of 6-4. You're watching the finals here in the Pro Beach Championship.
Welcome back to AVP Classics. You're watching the 1988 Hermosa Beach Open. We now move further ahead in the action. Here's Lynn Shackelford and Paul Sunderland with the call.
Mike Dodd right there on the loopy over the block.
Oh, yeah. Smith and Stoklos so upset with themselves. Golden opportunity for a point, and they hit it right to Dodd.
St. John Smith knowing again a very, very important point-scoring opportunity they were unable to convert. Mike Dodd going with a cut shot. St. John is right there, but not able to pursue and make the second dig. Here you get to see it again. St. John, which way is he going to go? Little tap down, caught leaning left, puts the ball away.
As we mentioned, the last telecast of beach volleyball for Prime Ticket. Hope you've enjoyed it through the summer. Our beach volleyball producer, Tom Fick, has enjoyed it. Your pictures being brought to you by Doug Freeman as director. Associate directors Boyd Robertson, the Jack Nicholas of Prime Ticket, Quentin Gregory, Mike Manning up here with us today. Your graphics provided by Valerie Crane and Chuck McKean.
Come on.
Over the block one more time. Seems like there's an awful lot of hits and pokes over the block in this game, which I think brings out the point you made, Paul Sunderland. Fake the block and back up. You might get them just poking, not knowing the block's not there.
Players get patterned into just staying in the same posture offensively and defensively time and time again. You got to be looking for opportunities to score. And again, continue to fake as Randy Stoklos again serving extremely well this game, gets his third service ace.
All right.
Stoklos and Smith moving out to 9-7. Much of it behind the serve of this man right here, Randy Stoklos. Again, the toss, so important. Right there in the corner in front of our linesman, Mike Norman. Hovland, no chance except just to look.
And a red card comes out, I believe.
After the warning, St. John Smith was given a red card violation by Ed Winchester. That leads to an immediate side out and the ball going over to Hovland and Dodd.
Hey, all you've been doing the whole game is doing. Let's go, Tim. I don't need your help. Quiet. Let's play. Let's go. We're ready. He made a comment. We're ready to play.
St. John Smith says, no, we're not ready to play. Let's take a timeout. You're allowed to, and he's going to take a timeout. And he wants Matt Gage, I think, to come down here onto the court. St. John is unhappy with the officiating of Ed Winchester. And you know, Paul, when you're an athlete and you're unhappy with the officiating, you can't play your best. And St. John's smart enough to say, hey, let's get this settled and straightened out.
Well, Ed Winchester, I mean, we've heard him, is in control of this match, but for some reason, there's some obvious friction between Ed Winchester and St. John Smith.
We don't have a mic close enough to pick up what Matt Gage and St. John are talking about. Matt Gage, a former outstanding player, and really, I think, has the respect of everyone.
For your participation this weekend.
And I think probably is coming over here just to kind of listen to St. John.
Ladies dragging your men down here away from the tube.
I don't understand why Hobbs can do this and wait and wait and wait and then look up, but I can't. That's not right. That is not right.
But whatever it is, you can tell St. John's not happy.
For those of you that have been a coma,
This is not endearing St. John Smith to the South Bay.
No, exactly. Good point.
This is the home beach of Mike Dodd and Tim Hovland. St. John Smith is getting the thumbs out. I'm not sure if that's for Ed Winchester. We'll have to wait and decide. The crowd having a big say in this match.
Welcome back, 1988 Hermosa Beach final. Tim Hovland, Randy Stoklos, St. John Smith. Gentlemen, Ed Winchester, he was a referee.
St. John's buddy.
When we first aired, the first ever AVP Classic was Rhode Island. And Ed Winchester, we know what happened. He never really reffed again. I know where he is now. The way this guy was handing out yellow cards and red cards to you guys, he's now reffing World Cup.
Wait, why do you say he's my buddy?
He's
He
your
worked
buddy.
me over
He is
in
your
that
buddy.
event. He
He
totally worked me over.
Well,
No,
first
I think
of all, he is your buddy.
Yeah, you know this.
Probably lives with you.
I respected the guy because he didn't care who was on the court. He
He didn't
called
care
the game
because
the
he
way
didn't know the
saw it.
game.
But St.
didn't
John,
know
what
a
is happening
thing.
here? I mean, it's like a World Cup game. There's yellow cards and red cards.
Yeah, what's a World
You're
Cup
getting a
game?
red card.
Hobb
What's
has
happening?
his take on it, and he'll give it to you,
Let's
and
hear
three
yours
other
first.
ones about
Yeah.
the same thing. But here's what was happening during that game. The idea was Hobb, you know,
Everybody has their own
Hobb,
style,
like I
St. John.
mentioned before, he's in
Everybody
the-
has their own style.
Hobbs in the worst shape of anybody. I don't know how
Where
he
are
made
you
it through
coming from?
tournaments. And he's out
Look
there,
at that boiler
and
you
in
got
between
going.
rallies,
He's doing the cat scratch.
his head is down, and he's going like this with, you know,
He's
and
doing
then
the cat
Getting
scratch.
ready.
And then he finally lifts his head up, and you know, this takes time. And they even talk about it on the TV. God, there's a lot of time.
And you know, those are the worst
So the
announcers
referees, the
Bar none.
referees wouldn't call Hobb on it. So I said, okay, if Hobb can do it, I can do it. I'm tired too. I want to take a little
ever. Oh,
break.
so you were tired too, huh?
So I get a red card for doing what Hobbs been doing his whole career.
Yeah,
and that's what
right.
got me a little bit
Now,
irritated.
you're just
So
you
you went
were
to get
whiny. You were whiny.
Yeah, I called for the tournament director. Why is it that one team gets certain treatment and the other team gets a different treatment? That's not fair. That's the only thing in this sport that really irked me throughout my whole career is fairness for both
A
teams.
lot of things irked you. You needed to latch on to some
Besides you.
breast milk. I swear to
Besides
God,
you.
you were a whiny little. That whole tournament, it was ridiculous how bad you were. This whole thing was blown way out of
I hope it
proportion.
didn't throw you off your game at
I
all.
was fine. I was fine. I just waited until next year to take it out on you.
Now,
It was just a little bit different.
now, did you guys talk about at this point, like, I mean, should the clock be implemented by this time? Even though it's not. I mean, 89 is when the clock
Would
comes
have
into
been a
play.
good.
It was after that season because there was I mean, for one,
Because Tim
how
was
long was
taking
his
so
match?
much time,
Yeah.
he tried to go and implement
much-
a new
Oh, my
rule.
God.
How long was that match? Over 2 hours?
1 hour.
It was a long
It was
time.
1 hour.
No,
It was like
two
watching the
games.
Two
Titanic.
games.
The
Each game was an
Titanic,
hour.
exactly right.
3
Even
hours.
after
It
went
was
under.
too long, and you know what? We made a little switch, and it was a good move. Not a big problem. And you know these announcers, Lynn Shackelford and Sunderland. Lynn Shackelford should never announce again. Did you hear his announcing? I mean, I don't think he knew anything about the game.
I did notice a few things were
Sorry,
missed.
Lynn, but it was a horrible game for
A
you.
few things
It was horrible.
were missed, but I think that what they were trying to do is make it interesting for the general public who didn't understand the
Well,
game.
he didn't understand the game.
Yeah, but the general
Good
public
God.
didn't know.
Oh,
what was
whatever,
going on.
whatever. He made Marlowe and Sunderland look so much better.
Stick around. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back to AVP Classics. You're watching the 1988 Hermosa Beach Open. We now move further ahead in the action.
You realize in other parts of the country it's 50 degrees, 60 degrees.
They're starting to
You
put
gotta love Southern California.
they're starting to put the weather stripping around the windows,
There you go.
making sure they got salt for their driveway.
People are raking leaves all day Sunday. Hermosa, it's just another day at the beach. We're just over an hour, 62 minutes into the match. But these are a little bit like a John McEnroe tennis match. There's so much downtime. It's not like they should be getting tired out there. Tired of standing around and play between points.
Well, these players are used to being in the finals, so they're superbly conditioned. They're none of them surprised that they're participating in the finals. There have been, as you mentioned, Lynn, 26 events prior to this, and one of these teams, Hovland, Dodd, Smith, Stoklos, have won 17 of them, so they're used to being in this position.
Can he run it down? Yes.
Set well off the net, and again, Mike Dodd chopping to the line. Randy Stoklos, if he's not going to block, has to release to that shot.
Great turn by Mike Dodd. And do they ever need a side out? Now, just because you have the 13-9 lead, you cannot let up, which Smith and Stoklos did a little bit in that semifinal match earlier here on Prime Ticket against John Hanley and Dan Verbolovich. You got to put them away. These two guys will come right back at you.
Nice again, over the top. Mike Dodd respecting his cross-court angle shot. St. John able to put the ball over the top of the tall block of Tim Hovland.
Stoklos and Smith in the lead, 13-9. Finals of the 1988 USA Championships. Brought to you by Life Beer from Miller.
St. John Smith with a chance to get that all-important 14th point.
Tim, close up. One, and angle.
Randy, come on. Deep.
Oh, great shot by Randy Stoklos. I said, no, Randy, don't hit it over in two, but he knew what he was doing.
I think actually, Lynn, he had a micro touch on the ball hit by Tim Hovland. And Hovland and Dodd didn't know the ball had been touched. Here we'll see if we can see the touch. It just does deflect off his hand. This ball has to go. Hovland and Dodd aren't expecting it. Hovland's getting back here in position. Boom, it's by them. They score, go to game point.
Of course, he hit it in a great spot, deep middle. Tim Hovland's going to towel off, take his time doing so.
There will be no more games. If St. John and Randy win this, there will be one more game to 15 points to decide the champion. 14-9.
14-9. Game point for Smith Stoklos.
Come here. Leave it here.
That's all she wrote. So Smith Stoklos win the game by a score of 15-9. Do they win the